Bro doesn't remember how it started. The outermost periphery of the present closes in around his head in a warm fog, tickling the capillaries in his brain and pressing on his brow with the heat of molten lead. Out of the ether, he could pick through a few scattered moments, like pebbles in the dust of a long eroded cliff. There was the first gust of cool air and sunlight warm on his skin. The feeling of how cotton used to cling to the bulk of his delts and brush against the point of his nipples. Someone had been talking. Someone familiar. A sensation of vertigo, the anguish boring into his empty head. Something inside him yearned for that man. Yearned with the partiality of recollection which left him with the vague melancholy of something gone forever. The man whose long, indistinct face was nothing but flashes of a smile, but whose voice still echoed through him, sharp and crystalline as the chime of a music box. Arms down. Flex, bro. He could remember how the muscles of his cheeks would tug at the skin around his mouth whenever he was proud or impressed. It was reactive, involuntary. There was a word for that. There were words for a lot of things, but don't move. Don't even think about moving, bro. Stand there and hold that pose. That's it. Do it for me. Thanks, bro. He was facing down, told to admire his body, to take in each individual striation in the breadth of his meaty pecs, the thickness of his arms, tight and wound like steel cords, the throbbing of his bulging veins, a motion near imperceptible from the motionless. The flat of a palm was gripping the back of his skull, running fingers through his hair and down his cheeks. There were hands on his shoulders, down his arms, down his back, down. The touches, slow and gentle, sending prickles through his skin with every savory tap. He was still retracting his teeth, whatever that was called. Not threatening like a wild dog, but happy. The words that man had spoken sunk into the compartments behind his abs, into the pores of his body, and sent ripples through the dewy hollows of what lie before the backbone. This symphony of liquid sensations reduced his inner mass to a turbulent viscosity, but his external shell remained firm, taut, and rigid. His arms, still so used to motion, were wrapped with the subtle tremors of twitching muscle. The voice was telling him to be still, so still, that he was so beautiful when he remained still. Feeling this man's voice press down on him, he knew that he would do anything it asked, give himself completely to the design of which he had become a part. The only portion of his body still moving was the tightness trembling around his mouth, the pride and joy of what he had accomplished for his bro. He was hearing the words, no, bro, get intense, intimidating, that's it. Glower for me. Hold that pose, yeah, just like that. Harder, rockier, stone-faced. You feel that, bro? Feel the weight and hardness of your body? Heavy, isn't it? So heavy. You want to feel that heaviness expand, Let it grow out and consume you. Arms are heavy. Chest is heavy. You're going deeper and deeper into that feeling of leaden calm. Deeper and deeper. Heavier and heavier. Down, down, down. Good job, bro. There's a process called ossification by which soft tissue hardens into bone. And you know what bone is, bro? It's mineral, inorganic. It'll turn to stone over a long enough period of time. They keep them in museums, those bones, the remnants of the long dead, mummified, fossilized. If they could still think, still talk, what would they say? Some faint relief that the arrangement of their cellular structure shifted into more durable matter? A sense of pride that their bodies could outlast the obliteration of the ages and still be seen today? We may build hard bodies, bro, but flesh is weak, soft, mostly water. Upon the cessation of your vital functions, it'll rot away, putrefy, dissolve. Only the bone will remain, the unchanging and immutable. The potential for your body to petrify is an intrinsic feature of your biology, and it's time you let yourself act on it, bro. Imagine what that would feel like happening to you. Your tendons are getting stiffer, locked into place. You no longer have any desire to move. There's concrete churning in your veins, flowing through every inch of your rock-hard body. Your muscles won't twitch or spasm anymore. They're no longer flesh. They were carved over months and years in the gym by streams of sweat down your smooth marble body. It's the most natural thing in the world that you should just want to stand there, void of motion, holding that flex forever. 'Cause you're turning to stone, bro. Think you can escape it? Go ahead, bro. Try to move. You can't do it anymore, can you? The fear is only going to stiffen you further. Pump that sluggish concrete through the iron cording of your veins. It's not going to crack, bro. Might feel like your skin's been coated in a glaze, but you're a single, immaculate piece. Best thing you can do is calm down. Embrace it. First step is a little mental reframing, turning fear into excitement. Isn't it kind of hot what you're becoming? Helpless, vulnerable. Your cock's getting hard, too like the crack of a whip against flesh, or the leaden exhaustion in your arms after a great pump. This can feel good if you learn to detach, accept, embrace it as a sensation. Feels pretty good, don't it, bro? Peaceful. Not having to move, not having to think, not having to do anything, just standing there and being seen. Accepting that you're only a statue, a mindless object, a piece of hot, chiseled jock art posed and on display. You love to obey me. That's why you let me in your head. Think of all the time we spent in the gym, how I pushed you, inspired you, believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. You wanted to be seen and admired, earn the validation of your fellow men and become something to warrant pride. Well, here you are, bro. Proud of you. Proud that I could help you become the object of our mutual desire. For this eternal moment, you'll obey me indefinitely. Everyone will see you, gawk over the impeccable details rendered in stone by the technique of two master craftsmen. You and me, bro. Collaborators on this little project. You were a good-looking guy, but now you're a fully fledged piece of art. The beauty of the male form in a frozen instant of timeless awe. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed our time together, bro. Not just the work we did, but the man you became. The man you helped me become. It's getting me pretty down, honestly, thinking about how I'm not gonna have you to pal around with anymore. Just gotta tell myself you're too beautiful to keep to myself. That I gotta share you with the world. I don't know, man. Maybe one day I'll come back. Put my hand around your shoulder. Whisper sweet nothings in your ear like I used to. Old work's always a little painful for me, though. Just gotta keep busy. Think about my next project. All the ways I could improve the process. Always gonna remember you as one of my happiest formative experiences, bro. My first real success. It's sentimental, I know, and I can't expect everyone to see what I see in you. But it's my dearest wish that the world will come to remember you as one of my strongest efforts. He steps closer, and you feel a tug on the side of your track pants. The draft is around your calves now, and the soft polyester nylon mix is hugging the top of your feet. Your bro's laughter echoing off your body and up the walls. That's why you gotta stay on the balcony, man. You're a bit much for a public art project. Another tug, and now the wind blows against your bare glutes. This portion of your memory is most blurry, but in the periphery of sight, you can see your red CK trunks wadded up in your bro's fist. The pair he got you for your birthday. And the sharp intake of his breath. Shit. Still smells like a man, bro. Only a subtle, lingering note of dust. When he said that, he placed his arm around you for the last time and laid his head against yours. His lips were so close, but you couldn't move up to meet them. It was hard to say how long he stood with you before he let out that last baleful breath and finally said goodbye. You can still abstractly conceptualize time as a sequence of measurable, linear moments even now, but as for lived experience translated into memory, things are a bit hazy. It could have been minutes, or it could have been hours. You know the former is somehow a smaller unit of measurement, but by how much you no longer have any frame of reference. You wanted to cry out for your bro not to go. You wanted to start sobbing at being left all alone, but you see your arms, your chest. You hold your pose. Your cock is now permanently stiff, a vertical protrusion which composes a part of your trunk, and you're proud, so proud that you sculpted this body, and so happy that your bro thought it was good enough to preserve for posterity. You'll never come again. You'll stand in frustration at the threshold of ecstasy never attained. But why would you ever want this to end? You get to experience the bliss of obeying your bro for however long you'll be. Sometimes you're pulled from the reverie of the eternal appreciation of your own body by the sound of approaching footsteps. People pass by. Sometimes they touch you and comment on how real you look. Sometimes they pose with you and take pics. Other times they feel your muscles like your bro used to do, or stroke your dick and laugh. A mute scream roars out from inside of you, but is soon drowned out by the echoes of your bro's words. Every time someone approaches you, you wonder if it might be bro coming back like he said he would to check on you. Whenever you think of your bro, always in relation to some current stimulus, never of your own accord, you feel that pang of loss. Want to cry because you can't remember his face or his name. Only that he made you feel enough to warrant eternal yearning. There's a lot of things you can't remember anymore. Who you were, what food tasted like, the thrill of a sprint, or the satisfaction of a set of heavy deadlifts. You come to feel alienated from this body, this disembodied aesthetic cue with no immediacy, the more the experience which built it degrades. You've forgotten so much you can't remember the extent of what you've forgotten. And so the terror of the slow onset of oblivion doesn't occur anymore, except as a kind of abstract inevitability, something known but divorced on a rational level. And what's the point? Fear's only going to make you harder. It's difficult to tell exactly why, but it feels like you're still solidifying. Bro made you this way, and you gotta obey bro. The only thing you genuinely dread is that things might get to a point where you won't even remember bro anymore. But before you can think about that too hard, arms down. Flex, bro. The memory plays on repeat forever. You remember how good it felt that bro froze you. Remember that this is exactly what you wanted. You feel his touch. Remember what he told you about yourself. It's comforting. It's enough to keep you stable, to keep looking down at your body and remember the way bro told you you're beautiful when you're still, strong, that this is what you were meant to be. That it feels so good to be silent and posed. You're such a handsome statue. Bird songs flutter down from trees. You get cold when it rains. Summertime is your favorite because you can hear the voices of people far off, enjoying the sight of you. You're warmed by the sun and the hands of the people who reach out to touch you, always triggering the same memory of bro. The warm fog grows thicker and heavier like frost layers, and the snow that piles on your head and traps in winter, summer, winter, day, night. There comes a time when those words fail to stir any recollection. Heat and cold, light and shadow. They play over the pores and striations of your arms with no recognizable cause or pattern. Footsteps fail to rouse you. You don't hear words and stop thinking in words. You only think about bro when you feel a hand against your weathered stone. Were you human? It's not a complete thought. You don't have many of those anymore. Something vestigial stirs inside of you, wherein you partially recognize these biological motion events which share your shape, fragmented across time, somehow bear a relation to you, but you can't begin to remember how or why. You stop feeling touch. You look down at your own arms and know you're doing what you should be doing. Or rather, since you lack the capacity to conceive of action, you are what should be. You are, and it's good. Recognition of that fact forces the emptiness inside you to momentarily become more than emptiness. Being nothing, any thought which occurs compels you to become a something, an awareness which did not previously exist. That stimulation from the inside as somehow distinct from outside becomes too much. Something is missing. The notion hurts whenever it comes. You try not to let it happen. You keep looking, being nothing. There is no you. There is only the statue.